Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jeanetly Garcia, Senior Associate Attorney here at Reddy Newman Brown, PC, located in Houston, Texas. We specialize in employment-based immigration matters, and I currently serve as the Non-Immigrant Visa Department Practice Manager as well. With all that being said, we are in that final stretch of the 2025 fiscal year H-1B cap season. So today I wanted to discuss the steps to ensure that your petition is filed in a manner that avoids those unnecessary delays or potential rejections, specifically based on the USCIS updates that took effect as of April 1, 2024. These changes involve updates to the immigration forms, such as the Form I-129, that is the form used for H-1B petitions, as well as adjustments to the applicable filing fees associated with these petitions. So let's go ahead and dive into these details. Just as some background information, the reason that USCIS regularly updates or revises their forms is to ensure the accuracy and efficiency of compliance with the evolving immigration laws and regulations. Alongside with these form updates, what happens is that USCIS also periodically adjusts filing fees to cover processing times, processing costs, and improve those service efficiencies as well. So these fee increases are detailed in the new fee schedule table that is available on the USCIS website for you to look up and search accordingly. So specifically with the Form I-129, it's particularly important right now with it being this fiscal year cap cycle. As you know, the updates to the Form I-129 are going to be specifically crucial during this fiscal year 2025 filing period, because we need to make sure that we're using the most updated versions of the forms. Right now, the most current version of the form is the April 1, 2024 edition of the Form I-129. So it's very important that we're using that edition because any errors or outdated forms, even if it's just the signature page, can be critical in delaying your case and getting it rejected and sent back to you. And right now we just don't have that time with the filing window ending on June 30th. So it's very, very crucial that you review the instructions to avoid those errors, making sure that the edition that you use again is the April 1st, 2024 edition. Also, specifically within the form, you want to make sure that you are distinguishing your company as a small employer or large company. So small employers are going to be those companies who employ 25 full-time employees or less, and they will significantly have lower filing fees. So make sure that you're distinguishing your company accordingly on these new form editions. And then also just what are these risks? What can happen if you don't use the correct form, if you don't use the fees that are applicable to your forms? Rejections, right? Right now we are we're days away from the June 30th filing window deadline. And so right now there are delays with receiving those rejected petitions. There are delays with receiving receipt notices as well. So unfortunately, we just don't have that luxury to see if we filed it correctly or to depend on whether we correctly filed that petition. So delays due to non-compliance can also impact your immigration status. So it's not just not filing it within the window, it's if we filed it because your beneficiary has cap gap, for example. We need to file it either by June 30th or before their OPT expiry date happens in order for them to have continued work authorization through September 30th. If we get that petition rejected and it gets sent back to us, there might not be enough time to timely file that petition, which would require for that beneficiary to re-register in the H-1B lottery next year or continue solely on their F1 status as it is right now. So it's very important that we make sure to take these next steps of how to avoid these rejections, these delays. So how do we do it, right? So number one is going to be to review the instructions and specifically download your I-129 forms from the USCIS website, because they're only going to have the most current versions there. Again, the current acceptable I-129 form version is edition 4/1/2024, so April 1, 2024. So please make sure that you're downloading and using the correct one. We also want to double check that each page of the petition has the correct version listed on it. Like I said, sometimes the signature page is still a previous version. That's going to be cause for rejection. The other tip is to make sure that you're calculating and attaching the correct filing fees as well. So make sure that they are visibly attached to the petition or fully paid for those of you who are taking advantage of online filing of the I-129 form. And lastly is going to be to double check the filing address that you're sending these petitions to. It is one of the other updates that happened as of April 1. The USCIS service decided that instead of you going based off of the service center listed on the selection notice, the registration selection notice, that we now are to send these or mail these H-1B CAP petitions specifically to the address associated with the petitioning employer's office address. So please make sure that you're sending that petition to the correct address as it relates to your company. And then lastly is to keep records of a copy of the petition that was submitted, a copy of the checks that were included, or the payment receipt that was processed for that filed petition. And it's just, again, to reiterate that it is so important to stay informed with these updates by USCIS so that we are always up to date and in compliance. And more than anything, we don't want to waste our resources, waste our time, right? These are very crucial steps for your beneficiaries. And so we want to make sure that we do what's necessary to avoid those. And of course, if you need assistance with any part of these steps, we are happy to assist you here at Reddy Newman Brown PC. If you wish to schedule consultation with any one of our team members or attorneys on our team, please schedule via our website, rnlawgroup.com. And again, thank you so much for joining today. Thank you for your time, and I wish you the best of luck in your CAP petition filings as well as your immigration journey. Thank you.